Hello and welcome to Cricket Adda presents post IPL auction analysis. And after 2 days of hard work, finally the 10 teams are ready. We have all the squads with us, and we have a full house once again on Cricket Adda. First of all, straight from the United States of America, who hasn't slept for 2 days because he wanted to see how SRH build their team. Please put your hands together for one and only Nikhil Potnis. Nikhil, have you slept after the 2 mega days of that big auction?
Yeah. Now I've slept. Barely
Okay.
gotten some sleep.
So yeah, we have started early only for Nikhil because he has to leave. But before I start the stream, let's obviously we have to welcome the one and only Advait Lachke, who was behind the Chennai Super Kings squad, and he was on the call with Sundar Raman and Kashi Vishwanath, who were there on the table for Chennai Super Kings, and they have built a good squad. I mean, they tried for a few openers, they didn't get them. Finally, got Devon Conway, so that's a good buy. And the man who was really impatient on day one, but finally found some hope on day two with that buy of Jofra Archer, the Mumbai Indians fan Ninad Lakre. Ninad, are you now like cool and calm with Jofra and Bumrah? And next year, I think that's only one team IPL, with Mumbai winning all the seasons from there on.
No, you can't say that. It's just 8 overs of control. You got to obviously do well in all the other three fields as well.
Just
Not
eight
only
overs
bowling,
means you got
batting.
40% overs control.
Yeah,
Exactly,
That's
it'll
just
be a
not
exactly.
12-hour
isn't that
match
50
now,
over
next
is it
season.
20 over match, sir? You got 40% control in
Yeah,
your hands.
No, it's actually just
12-hour match
20%. You
now.
have the other innings where you have to bat well.
I mean,
They have
other
Ishan
means you
Kishan
got
for that,
Rohit Sharma,
15.25
Surya Kumar
CR.
Yadav, Karan Pollard. The list is like
And
And
they
who
even
knows,
got
maybe
Ricky
Jofra
Ponting.
Archer comes back this season. Who
Oh,
knows?
Yeah,
Nikhil giving us
yeah.
some
If
inside
that
news,
happens,
maybe.
it would be a very exciting thing. But yeah, I would
Yeah.
yes.
say I'm satisfied. Let's say not as good as the 2020 squad, am I? But okay, since it's a 10-team auction, all the uh, players would
Level has
be
gone
spread
down.
over a larger number of teams.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think Mumbai Indians
the
have
level
done
would
like
go
all
down a bit.
Mumbai Indians have done like all cricket fans a favor all around the world to
Yes.
get Bumrah and Archer together.
Yeah, we also have one more person joining us who was. You might have seen Aryan Khan on the KKR table, but behind the table we are Shikhar Sarang from the KKR auction table. Shikhar, I have seen there are quite a few unknown names in that KKR in the KKR squad, so I'm hoping that you know something about them because I'm pretty sure you gave them the names. So let's start first of all before we go to the teams, and we have to start with SRH because Nikhil is here. But before we go to the teams, just quickly, if anybody doesn't know, Ishan Kishan is the most expensive player of the IPL 2022 mega auction, 15.25 CR, which most of us had predicted. Shreyas Iyer 12.25 CR, but before that, Deepak Char 14 CR, which is quite a lot because we expected him to go around 10, but 14 is quite a lot for an Indian fast bowler, and he is the most expensive Indian fast bowler. After that, there were five or four guys on 10.75: Shardul Thakur, Harshal Patel, Wanindu Hasaranga, and Nicholas Puran from SRH. So, as let's move on to SRH as Nikhil is here. Nikhil, I'm sharing my screen. You can see the squad of SRH. Just a minute. Uh, I think I have the Bangalore one on. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, so this is the SRH one. And can you please explain what they have done? Because there is quite a lot of confusion. No star player apart from Nicholas Puran, who himself isn't consistent. So please, if you would like to explain.
A very interesting team that they've picked here. So
Yeah.
obviously Kane Williamson was retained. Abdul Samad, Umran Malik were retained as well. I would say both of either of them were like first 11 players. Maybe Abdul Samad more so than Umran Malik. But Umran Malik, with his 140 plus pace, was obviously going to get more money, as you could see all throughout the auction that there was a big trend that Indian fast bowlers got a lot of money. So he would obviously, I think, get more than 4 crore. Abdul Samad is an interesting player. He's been at the team for 2 years. Has played a few matches. Last season he maybe nailed a more nailed a spot in the first 11, and he can hit some good shots. He's a good power hitter, um, but he has to do that consistently, because he's a good dangerous player. Other than that, they've gone back to their 2018 before that maybe, to go with the Indian fast bowlers, and they've got a very good pool of Indian fast bowlers, and I think they've ticked all the boxes in terms of different types of variations for Indian fast bowlers. They've got someone like Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who's like a very good all-round fast bowler, two up front, two at the back. Obviously, last season he didn't have a good year, but if he can get back to his best, then uh, he was the purple cap holder a few years ago. Natarajan, left-hander, very good at the death. Umran Malik, Karthik Tyagi, good young right arm, very fast bowlers. I'd say maybe one of them will play, at least in every game. And then there are the foreign fast bowlers. They've got Marco Jansen, who can bat at 8. Left armor again,
Yeah.
tall. He's a decent buy, I think. I think a lot also depends on how the pitches um, will will work out for Sunrisers. Where they play, because that's another thing in this squad. If you see, there's not a good leg spinner. They've got Shreyas Gopal, who's a decent leg spinner, but I wouldn't say there's any world class spinner over there. Even Washington, Abhishek Sharma, decent buys, but I wouldn't say either of them are world class spinners. And seeing as there were two very good Indian leg spinners, Chahal and Chahar, who went so cheaply, yeah, that was surprising. But yeah, other than that, a decent team. Uh, because of that good Indian young fast bowling, kind of group that they have, they can play three overseas batsmen up front. So they can play Williamson, Puran, and Markram. I'd like to see Markram maybe at 4, and Abhishek Sharma and Rahul Tripathi opening. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this squad?
Yeah, so exactly as you mentioned, I'm going with, if you can see the probable playing 11 here, I'm going with Tripathi and Sharma as the openers, Williamson at 3, Markram 4, Puran 5. I would have liked Puran at 4 because he's more of a spin hitter, but with Markram coming in, you have to push down Puran. I think SRH overpaid for Puran. There was a bit of desperation there with him being the last wicket keeper, but Advait mentioned on our group that there was still Sam Billings and Matthew Wade who were unsold. So there was a bit of a mistake there, in my opinion. Advait, what do you think? Because as Nikhil mentioned, no world class spinner. The fast bowlers are Indian, no overseas fast bowlers. I think there are a lot of cheap buys, but not like great buys. What do you think?
Yes, to be honest, but if we take a look at the last year's IPL which happened in Mumbai, the pitch started to spin. It aided Ravindra Jadeja, then it even aided Mohit Ali. So if we look at that way, Washington Sundar could be handy, and even Abhishek Sharma can, if he can get a bit of grip, he could also be handy. So looking at that point of view, if the pitches in Mumbai are going to be same as they were last year, then I don't see they missing a leg spinner here or there. So yes, it's a decent team, but the only problem is that as that even the last year it was the same pool of the batting pool was almost similar. The youngsters were put under pressure and they were not able to perform to that
Yeah.
limit. So yes, some good inclusions like Rahul Tripathi, then Aiden Markram, Kane Williamson. Kane Williamson was there. Aiden Markram, Priyam Garg was there. He wasn't able to perform to his potential. Nicholas Puran, he needs to perform because this
Yeah.
SRH has invested in him a lot, 10.75 crore. Puran is a world class batsman. You all know that he's a talented batsman. But when it comes, he hasn't performed to his potential. So he needs to perform because he has been paid almost 11 crores.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, along with him, Washi Sundar also needs to perform because he has been paid more than Yuzvendra Chahal and Rahul Chahal. So they have put a lot of faith in Sundar also. So these two need to perform if SRH needs to do good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
last
yeah. Go
season,
ahead.
not last season, but even like last couple of seasons, middle order has always been a problem for
Yeah,
Sunrisers.
Yes.
This time, if you look at the middle order, Markram, Puran, Abdul Samad, and then Washington Sundar.
Just a
So
point to add,
I'm, yeah,
I would be excited to see if they play Washington Sundar at 3 constantly, because giving 8.75 crore just for his bowling, I don't think that's worth. So you need to use his batting side also. So they might think of playing Williamson at 4 and Sundar at 3. Just a point of view.
yeah, that's interesting because I think I heard Tom Moody's interview somewhere on Twitter or
hmm.
somewhere, and he had said that they don't mind paying extra, but they want to fill that role. So
Okay.
I don't think they've gone at players, and even while selecting the team, I think Nicholas Puran definitely is a first team player. But other than that, I don't think they'll go. They'll see at any player and then look at their how much they paid. Like Romario Shefford, for example. I'm not sure if he's a first team player.
Yes.
I
That's
think
true.
Interesting.
I feel Marco Jansen would be a better player to play. Obviously, I think conditions and everything also depend. Um, but yeah, then they've got backups as well. Glenn Phillips is a backup for Nicholas Puran, Indian wicketkeeper in Vishnu Vinod.
Yeah.
Sean Abbott, uh, fast bowling all
For
rounder
Marco
kind of player.
Jansen, yeah. For Marco
Yes.
Yeah.
Jansen, yeah.
But yeah, again, not no world class fast bowler
Yeah.
or fast bowling all rounder.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they have
Yeah,
got a lot of all rounder option if we look
yeah,
at it.
yeah.
Like
That's good. Yeah,
they have got they can play 3 to 4 all rounders in their team. They have got 3 to 4 ready-made all rounders if they need to play them. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
And the
quite a good
beauty of
team.
Markram, he's a proper batsman, but then he can give you two,
Yes,
three overs as well.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think if SRH want to do well, there are a lot of variables which need to go their way. As although it says Washington Sundar's batting needs to be used well, Markram needs to come good, and Puran obviously, if he's not consistent, then he will eat up that spot at number 5 because he's a keeper. So it will be difficult for them. Shikhar, if you can quickly come in and have a look at the probable playing 11, and what are your variation? What is your variation for this playing 11? Do you think Marco Jansen for Romario Shefford, or two fast bowlers like Karthik Tyagi, Natarajan, and Bhuvneshwar instead of Shreyas Gopal? What do you think?
Yeah, like I guess this would be the first 11, but you know what? This is what in years I have seen. This is very similar to the SRH team we have seen.
Hmm.
No stars, but everyone performing bits and pieces here and there, and they are doing good. Right? In the if you've seen 2016, there was just Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Rashid Khan, and David Warner. Everyone else were kind of Ashish Nehra. Like if I'm not wrong, Ashish Nehra was there,
Yeah,
and
Ashish
kind
Nehra
of
was
kind
there.
of yeah, kind of team there. But I guess what they've done well is this time in the batting department, they have so many possibilities. Like they can try Abhishek Sharma or even Washington Sundar at opening.
Hmm.
If they're not
Yeah,
doing well, they can just shift Indian Makram up there,
yeah.
and Indian Makram with as if the tournament is going to be on like 4 pitches or 5 grounds at a time, the ball will start turning, and he will
Hmm.
definitely he can even give you 3 4 overs regularly at the back end of the tournament. And other thing is. Uh, the main thing I think which is missing is death bowling.
Hmm.
If you see, you can get power play overs from Washington Sundar, you can get from Bhuvneshwar Kumar or somebody like an Indian Magram as well. I just see T Natarajan as an option there.
Hmm.
Bhuvi is not in his prime, but I guess if he will start giving you 2 overs in the back, then this can be a good team with Natarajan and Bhuvi backing 4 overs in the death over. And with the team they have made, Nicholas Puran is definitely going to win you at least 2 to 3 games single-handedly this season, as he every time does. So I guess if the fillers, the players who are like kind of considered as filler, like Abdul Samad or the 11th,
Hmm.
like the second Indian fast bowler or a opener does well in odd games, then they might have a good chance as well. But on paper, this would be an underdog kind of team, I guess.
Sir, just for the death bowling, Umran Malik was quite impressive with his Yorkers
Yeah,
last season.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
if
sir,
he is not able to
Karthik
do that role,
Tyagi that one time.
yes. So I think that department of death bowling, I guess they have quite nicely filled it, because if we look even at the other teams, I guess it is one of the better death bowling teams. If you
yeah,
also check.
I agree with Advait there, because there are quite a few teams who will struggle with the death bowling. We'll come to that, but I get your points where you see the filling roles have to be done well. See, like a Shreyas Gopal if he plays, or as you said, an Aidan Markram with his bowling has to do well to come good. Quickly, just before we end SRH, who do you think was their best buy? I'm going with Karthik Tyagi at 4 CR with all this potential. I think that was a good buy for them.
Do we have to compare it with the
Price
amount of
also.
money?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I
kind of,
guess
yeah.
Aiden
In
Markram,
yeah,
They've
Eden Markram was a
definitely
good buy.
overpaid for a lot of players over here.
Yeah,
yes.
Lot
yeah,
of. I mean, Rahul Tripathi 8.5 crore,
yeah,
Abhishek Sharma 6.5,
I
Romario
would go with
Shepherd
Aiden Markram in that.
7.75. Aiden Markram is a good buy at 2.6.
yeah. Agree, agree.
Yes.
I really
Ninad,
rate that player.
Ninad, any good buys for SRH in your book?
Yeah, I would say 8. Markram at 2.6 because Markram, he looks, if you give him his good quota of 14 games, he is
Hmm.
someone who can perform consistently for you. And
Yes, he
having
can
a
win you three
14
to four
player,
matches.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So having a 14 game player for 2.6 crores is pretty a pretty good deal.
One thing is that Williamson and Markram, I mean, Markram does have that additional gear as well, but both of them are kind of anchor players.
yeah.
Yes.
That
Yes.
could be a problem. But Markram
Yeah,
has shown his explosiveness at some stages in the
yeah,
T20 circuit,
And
so
to be
that's something
honest,
to look out for.
I won't be so much worried with Williamson's anchor role, because he knows when to play
Yeah,
the aggressive role also. It's not like that
yeah,
Virat means currently that Virat Kohli or Joe Root or Steve Smith type that he would just consume 8 to 10 balls just to get in. Williamson can
yeah.
come in, take 3 to 4 balls and then start hitting for the fours. At least boundaries he can start hitting.
Yeah,
yeah.
then that gives Puran a lot of flexibility
Yes.
as well. Then he can just then decide how to go out for his game because he's got Williamson and Markram in front of him.
Yeah, a lot of questions coming in. Just quickly, let's take them. SRH, no big names yet. Ended up using entire budget. Quite, yeah, kind of agree with you. No big names, and they have used a lot of budget. They had a high budget, and still, I think they haven't got the team which looks formidable on paper. Umran Malik instead of Shreyas Gopal seems a good option considering Abdul Samad can bowl leg spin. Yeah, if
Yeah,
Abdul
I
Samad's
agree.
leg spin has developed into a two-over bowler, then I think Umran Malik, yeah, I like the look of Umran Malik as well. Pace is very important, and
I mean,
if
seeing that they've gone for Shreyas Gopal as their only leg spin, I don't know
yeah,
if I don't think they're planning on playing a leg spinner.
yeah, yeah. Hi friends, just a quick question. Why was S. Srishan's name not in the main list? So after 161, teams had to give 20 names of their choice, and no team gave the name of S. Srishant, which is quite understandable because he's 39 and you don't want a fast bowler at 39 in your team, and you don't even know how he's performing in the current scenario. So it's understandable. So not an issue at all. Srishant, no team wanted him. It's as simple as that. So yeah, let's move on to the next team, and let's move on to Chennai Super Kings, who have made a lot of buybacks, as we call them. Ravindra Jadeja, Dhoni, Ali, and Gaikwad are obviously there. They bought back Uttappa, Dwayne Bravo, Raidu, Shahar, KM Asif. A lot of players have been bought back. The only three players they didn't buy back from the only three players they didn't buy back from that final are Shardul Thakur, Josh Hazelwood, and Faf du Plessis. Otherwise, your first look at this squad, what do you think?
Sir, is there a lot of noise in my mic?
Not a lot. You can go ahead.
Yes. So if we see they have retained the core, means yes they have let go of Shardul Thakur and Pep, notable misses. Otherwise they have just retained that 8 to 9 players which Chennai regularly do, and the additions have been pretty impressive. After day one, I was not impressed with their selections, but yes, they have done quite a good bidding because they have got. got Adam Mill, who has got that extra pace. One of those departments which I thought Chennai was missing in those last 4 to 5 years. They have got him Adam Mill. Then they have got some. They have got even Chris Jordan. Yes, he has not proved his worth in the IPL, but yes, he's a proven bowler on the world basis. Then Shivam Dubey at 4 crore. He has not proved, but I guess under MSD he might do some wonders. Just saying because of MSD's captaincy. Devon Conway, a really good buy. So yes, they have got some pretty good names here and there. They have got even good replacements of when Brown he gets injured. So yes,
Yeah.
quite an interesting squad.
Yeah, I think, as you said, Shivam Dubey at 4 is a good buy. But what they were looking at was a lot of openers. They looked for Quinton de Kock, they looked for David Warner, they obviously tried for Faf du Plessis, but their budgets were around 4 CR, so they were backing out at that stage. And all of their buys are based on Deepak Char, who they badly wanted back, and that's why they paid whatever it needed, and they paid 14 CR for them. Raidu is a good buyback, I think. Shivam Dubey looks good. And Devon Conway, I think Sundar Raman, who was the one who was raising the paddle, said that he might be their next Mike Hussey, who might play that kind of a role. Nikhil, your thoughts on Chennai Super Kings?
Yeah, you can't really judge it right now, right? Because then you
Hmm.
have the MS Dhoni effect coming in.
Yeah, yeah,
So you can't really say what happens in the auction table. But I mean, if you want to keep that factor aside, yeah, they've done well. Deepak Chahar, obviously the big name coming back, 14 crores. Um, yeah, it's a good team. Devon Conway opening with Ruturaj Gaikwad, very interesting. I like Devon Conway. I think he's a gun player, and
yeah.
I like the comparisons with Hussey because Devon Conway started his career late as well. So
Hmm.
Mike Hussey started his career late as well.
Yeah,
So and then they've gone with a lot of good fast foreign fast bowlers. Chris Jordan, as Advait said, he's a proven death overs bowler. He does go. He does. He's sometimes very expensive. I don't know if he'll be a first 11 kind of player. Adam Mill could be that kind of guy. You got Dwayne Pretorius, Rajvardhan Hangargekar. Yeah,
yeah,
talk to me about him. I don't know if he'll have a first 11 position there, but they could groom him. I mean,
yeah,
he feels like a Deepak Char kind of backup.
More of a Shardul Thakur replacement.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Shardul
wanted
Thakur,
to talk about Hangargekar. Okay,
yeah.
Shubham, after you're done.
No, no, go ahead. Hunger Kicker is the topic. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty exciting. Like you said, it's like for like replacement, say to Shardul Thakur, uh, and like something which CSK has gone for traditionally, like since the past 2 3 seasons, is having a very deep batting lineup, and if Hangargekar slots in the playing 11, their batting lineup could go pretty deep because we've seen the carnage that he can do. We've seen him perform in the under 19. He has the ability to hit those cute sixes if he connects. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, under MS Dhoni, um, any MSD can do magic. He can do wonders. So, I'm pretty excited to watch this player play under Dhoni.
Yeah, and Ninad, quickly, you were talking about a player from Australia, Nivedita Radhakrishnan, Australia under 19, who bowls left arm
Yeah.
and off spin. Chennai have got Mahesh Tikshna, who bowls left arm and off spin, based on which batsman is bowling to. I think that's a good buy, and if they can develop him into a gun spinner, then that's a good buy. Shikhar, what do you think? And quickly, let's look at the 11 as well as you talk. What do you think of this 11? What
Yeah,
changes would you like to make to this?
yeah, it looks good, but I would just say that instead of doing Bravo at 8, because Bravo is not a like he. I don't think he would go give you 4 overs the 14
Hmm.
all the 14 matches he play, and if he is going to bat at 8, I must tell you that the Dwayne Pretorius from South Africa would be the choice, because if Dwayne Pretorius is playing, then CSK can do one thing, that bowl out Deepak Char in the first 10 and use Dwayne Pretorius in the next 10. So that can be the strategy. We have seen him bowl in T20 World Cup, and other T20 eyes as well, and he's a good
Does
depth bowler.
Pretorius get into South Africa's best T20 team?
That's an
Yeah,
interesting question.
he was playing for for them in the World Cup. He didn't play in uh, the ODIs. I guess he played in the last ODI.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was used as he used to start his bowling in the 11th or the 12th over in the World Cup, and he used to bowl three odd overs in the death kind of thing after 14th, I would say. I can and with Dhoni behind the stumps, anyone can do match wonders, and
Yeah.
he's proven with those flat pitches, especially in Chepauk, he might be more useful than in this season. And another thing is like Rajvardhan Hangarkekar, everyone is talking about him. He can hit big sixes, but the other thing is he had the most like the pace among all the Indian pacers. He was on the top kind of top notch. So the thing we CSK missed is added by Hangarkekar and Adam Mill, though he's around 130 now. Sorry,
Yeah, that
130,
too
35.
wasn't a lot, right? Like, I don't think there were
Hangarkekar
a
was
lot
one,
of.
but yeah, he's in developing phases. I would say 19-year-old, and he
Yeah,
would
I
find.
think
And
because
I
of
just
those West Indies pitches.
yeah, and the pitches were slow as well because I guess
Yeah.
the average score was 250 odd, I think. And otherwise, it looks good for me. I would just say that yeah, they could have gone for a Indian pacer in replace like Indian speedster, but given that they had budget issues, like they had to keep had to keep working to get Deepak Jha. I guess they had a pretty good auction, keeping in mind what they had done, and I guess they had got mostly all the budgets, uh, all the fields. Just that they could have gone for somebody else instead of N Jagdishan to get keeping as well, because if Ruturaj Gaikwad is going to be there and Moin Ali and Devin Conway, then I don't see N Jagdishan playing as a keeper at number 6. They could have gone for somebody like Vishnu Vinod or Jitesh Sharma, who can be batting lower down the order uh, give you runs. Not for this, they won't have played, but they would have been guided under Dhoni, and like he would have given them 1 year, one more year of knowledge. That could have been nothing, but otherwise, it's a good option for them.
If we are
Yeah.
talking about like replacement keepers, then we've got Uttappa and Raidu who can keep wickets in
No, no,
Even
case
Conway
we
can
need.
keep.
I'm not talking about the
Even
replacement here.
Conway
I'm,
can
I'm
keep.
talking
Hmm.
about the future keepers.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that Advait sir has already mentioned that Dinesh Bana is the future wicketkeeper of CSK after Ishan Kishan couldn't come to CSK unfortunately, or else he would have been the guy.
I'm surprised no one went hard for Srikar Bharat.
Yeah, that was a surprising bit. DCF got him
Yeah.
pretty cheap.
I
He's
think
a solid
one of
batter.
he's one of the best like backup Indian keepers you can
Yeah,
get.
But the
not
point
seeing
is,
Faf
Srikhar
in
Bharat would
yellow.
just bat in the top order and he hasn't
Yeah,
performed
top
to his
three, top
potential.
three.
He just
Yeah,
played one or two those odd innings, so
Yeah, I
that
think
also
he
plays
played
some
well. He
role.
played for RCB, right? A few matches
yeah,
last
Yes,
yeah,
year.
yeah.
yes, he won them one match and
Yeah,
he
he
could
did.
play
Yeah.
home decently. So I
Yeah,
guess
he,
that's the
he
reason
won
he
them
wasn't.
against DC, and obviously
Yes,
DC picked him, so that was obvious.
Yeah.
Not seeing Faf in yellow will hurt. Yeah, a lot of tweets and Instagram posts about this I've seen where the CSK fans are not happy that they didn't get Faf, but they have got Conway, so Conway solid buy, as Adit just says. I think Conway is their best buy. What are your thoughts quickly, Advait?
yes, definitely
Nikhil?
Conway.
Yeah, goodbye. Definitely. Yeah.
Shikhar?
I would rate Dwayne Pretorius
Okay,
bias to
yeah.
him.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Ninad?
Yeah, I would go with Shikhar, Dwayne Pretorius.
Nice.
But
Let's
my
move
that's
on
the
to the
point
next.
is with when
Yeah.
Petrus even played all the matches this season. It's no.
That's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
mean
You
that
can't
that
really
depends.
judge.
Yeah, that depends on the
Uh,
team management. We can't make
Yeah, it's
It
calls
also
depends
depends
on
because
on
MS
under
the
MSD,
Dhoni.
on MSD, anything's possible under him.
yeah.
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 And what I'm saying is, if he plays, he will show that he was a good batter.
Yes, he will definitely.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on to the next team. And Ninad is going to speak for the next 12 minutes. Everybody else can leave the stream right now. Mumbai Indians. It is Mumbai Indians fairly quiet on the first day. but they still picked up Ishan Kishan, the only high bid they did. They had never bid for a player have got a player for more than 10 CR this time. Ishan Kishan 15.25.
Even
Ninad,
CSK never did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they got Deepak Chair for 14. Ninad, what were your reactions when they got Ishan Kishan back at 15.25?
Obviously delighted because I like as soon as the retentions came in, I kept telling that okay, we should have got Ishan Kishan instead of Surya Kumar Yadav. But now I'm just happy that yeah, Ishan Kishan is there and he is there with us now. And seeing that this would potentially be the last mega auction, so yeah, it's 15.25 is still it's worth getting him in your team. So yeah,
Yeah, and
solid buy from
yeah, and
Ishan
he's the
Kishan
future
in that
captain
team.
as well, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
I,
like
Definitely.
even if you would see the retentions or if any other team would want to have him in the draft, he would still be priced at around that range. So it's moderately it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, so quickly about the squad as well. They saved a lot of money to buy Jofra Archer and Tim David, but they have taken a hit in the Indian pace bowling department and the spin once again. Literally no spinners. Mayank Markande and M. Ashwin, the only two leg spinners which I see. Apart from that, Sanjay Yadav, yes, is a left arm spinner, but not much there. But they have got three good buys again. Mills, I think, is a steal at 1.5 if fit. He's one of the better death bowlers in T20 cricket. So Ninad on that as well.
Yeah, we've seen Timal Mills play for RCB, I guess, back in 2016, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, he was effective, but um, age probably not on his side. And yeah, he is injury prone. So,
Yeah,
but
just
it would be fun
quickly,
to watch him
Ninad.
pair up. Yep,
Sorry to cut you there. Nikhil
yep.
has to leave, so if Nikhil can give his views on Mumbai Indians, and then he can leave for the day.
Yeah. So obviously headlined Ishan Kishan, 15.25. Tim David,
Yeah,
Singapore, a player,
yeah, yeah,
8.25 went hard for him. He'll definitely play. I think Shubham said he's like a. Did Shubham say? I'm not sure. I read somewhere that a Hardik Pandya kind of
yeah,
a
yeah.
player.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
number five,
Um,
number six. Yeah.
yeah, but if you see the three teams that we talked about, I mean, definitely CSK and MI, who've been one of
Hmm.
the best teams throughout the IPL. They have not, I wouldn't even say they're in the top five of the best IPL auctions that they've had. I don't think even Sunrisers would be in the top five. But again, CSK, MI, they have their own thing, what's going on. You don't really judge them on what's happened at the auctions. But Jofra Archer and Bumrah, I am so excited to see that next year. That is going to be one crazy bowling unit. Spin could be an option here. Could be an issue here.
Yeah.
Mayank Markande is there. Um, they could have gone for someone like Krunal Pandya again in that
Hmm.
middle order as well. They can maybe push Pollard up an order, maybe Tim David up an order, and then have Krunal Pandya at that middle
So Kunal was too
spot.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the option that he gives you, I think it's worth it for an all
But he
rounder
wasn't
left arm.
effective that much in the last 2 to 3 seasons that he played. He wasn't batting, he was bowling, and he wasn't picking wickets. He was just bowling those economic overs. So giving 8.25, 8.5, whatever he
Yeah,
picked
I think
that,
yeah,
I
eight
don't
eight
think he
is I
deserved.
think too much. Yeah,
Yes, that's why I guess MI also gave up on him.
yeah, and then Tilak Verma, lot of
Yeah.
talk right about him. You've put him in the playing 11 as well.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because see, Parthiv Patel, who is their domestic scout as well, he is talking highly about him and he's saying that he will be part of their first 11. Yeah, he is good as that. Nikhil, quickly your top buy for Mumbai Indians and then you can leave for the day.
Um, I mean, Timal Mills, if he plays to what he has played in the last, 18
Months.
months,
Yeah,
1.5, amazing buy.
yeah.
Um, Arjun Tendulkar?
Yeah, he is the best buy, right? 30
I
lakhs
guess he's
for.
No, I guess he's just 10 lakhs expensive. He should have been
Yeah,
in
he
20.
came 10 lakhs expensive. That's true.
Yes.
Nehra playing some mind games there by increasing his price, and that would have really disappointed Zahir Khan, who was
I mean, even
doubling down.
Jofra Archer for 8 crore.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know
I
he's not
completely
playing
agree
this
with
year.
you. I completely agree with you. Archer at 8 CR.
Yeah.
As soon as he comes back, I mean,
I'm guessing
I mean,
the
I don't have words for
It's
that.
a very MI thing to do. Like for one
yes.
year, just let him be. We'll see next year.
Let's be
We've
honest,
got
Archer
enough.
is the only good buy in this list I see because all others
Devon
seem to be
Brevis,
a bit
3 crore.
expensive.
Brevis.
Neval Brevis is a good buy. Yeah.
Yes.
Advait, then you haven't seen Brevis bat.
Mhm.
I guess he's my favorite batsman, but he
Yeah.
hasn't performed on this international level. He's just performed on under 19. So
Yeah.
I am not yet sure because many under 19 players who have performed quite well on the under 19 level haven't been able to replicate those standards when it comes to the international level. So that's why I'm not just saying that he's a great buy. He's a good
Yeah,
buy,
yeah.
but let's
Time to
just
say
yes,
goodbye to Nikhil as well. He was a good buy for us as long as he's with us, and we have retained him forever. So whenever we do the next stream, Nikhil will be with us surely, even if the
Yeah.
timings don't match. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
very much, Nikhil, for
definitely.
joining for those 30 minutes. And now let's move on to the playing 11 for Mumbai Indians. And what I would like to discuss is, do you have any more variations of this? Because Advait was saying that if they get Tim David, they get Danny drop Tim David, and he had a couple of variations coming in. So if anybody has any variations there, I would like to hear that as well. But I think this should be the fair starting 11. Shikhar?
there's
Sorry,
no
Shubham, to
Brevis.
interrupt.
Yeah,
Sorry to
sorry,
interrupt.
Brevis. You wanted to include Brevis. Yeah, sorry,
Yes, sir.
sorry. Yeah, yeah, Shikhar.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I would just say, like, while talking about the buys, I was doing a bit research on the domestic circuit, and I must tell you that they have great domestic buys. Rahul Budhi is a left-handed attacking batsman. That's a good buy at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Tilak Verma, as everyone said, is a
Mm.
good buy. I would also say keep an eye on Mohammad Arshad Khan. They might be
Okay,
there. He might be his next their Hardik Pandya, but the left-handed version of him, left hand bat and left arm fast bowling. So they
okay.
had good, and as we know that Bombay is like Mumbai Indians is uh, making star like Samin se utha ke sitara bana dunga type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry
So,
to interrupt.
no, so could you also give us the inside news that you gave these three names to them?
No. It's not. It was not like that. But I when I was
He
doing
gave them
that,
to Parthi Patel.
Yeah.
their stats are looking very good.
Yeah, and I think whatever Mohammad Arshad Khan makes in the next 10 years, 10% comes to Shikhar Sarang. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well. And then the Dewald Brevis, how could he make the 11 if you want to? If you include him, you might have to drop Daniel Sams and Fabian Allen, whoever of them plays. And then you might have to play Unadkat and Basil Thampi both. And that doesn't look like a good bowling lineup. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a catch, but see, looking at Unadkat and Thampi, the seasons, I'm just banking on this that the good seasons that they had, they
Hmm.
perform pretty well. So under Zahir Khan, if um, he develops them, we could see a bit of improvement under them. Basil Thampi, Unadkat, I don't know what's the scope, but Thampi, he's fairly young still in his mid 20s, early mid 20s.
Hmm.
So, and the time he had a pretty good season when he was in Gujarat Lions. He was a good death bowler. He used to land those Yorkers perfectly. And yeah, so using Thampi could be an option as well. But yeah, Mumbai, unlike their team previously, they really don't have much of a breathing space over here. Another option would be if another scenario I would say for Brevis to get in is replace him with Tim David, but then that again raises a lot of questions about the death batting for Mumbai. No doubt about
Hmm.
Pollard, but you got to have someone with him.
But David will bat now.
Yeah,
Replacing him
David
with
will
Team
bat.
David.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
he said
Replacing him
Tim
with
David.
Team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
yeah.
don't
I
think that
said
would
replace.
happen.
I don't wait. You didn't hear me
because giving
completely. I
it.
said in case David
Yes, yes, yes.
has is out of form, then you would have to replace him with Tim David if David is out of form. But then you don't see. But then you see your other players; they are all top order batsmen, so you don't know who to put with Pollard down there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe you
question
could
coming
slot in
in.
Ishan
Yeah, yeah.
Kishan at five. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes half a player of Ishan. I think Ishan Kishan
yeah,
opener 500 runs
Yes.
at
that's the
140
best.
strike
Yeah.
rate. That's the best option they have. And cricket keeper, he solves a lot of problems. MI don't have enough spinners, only the leg spinner. Yeah, the two leg spinners, and I think Sanjay Yadav bowls a bit of left arm. Even Tilak Verma bowls off spin or something. Shikhar would know more about their spinners, but I think Fabian Allen is a buy there if they need a spinner, even though he's not like the best spinner, but he could do a job there.
And he
I
can
heard
even hit some.
yeah, he can hit a few sixes as well at the end. I heard MI are also looking at Sanjay Yadav. Yeah, he is also one of the guys on their list. So yeah,
Yeah,
Mumbai Indians still I think it's a team which will develop over the next couple of years, and say a Dewald Brevis might turn into a match winner, and then Jofra Archer coming next year. You might see Archer, Mills, Bumrah, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, Sharma, Pollard, and then Tim David as well if he develops into even more dangerous batter. Then that's a strong team for the next 2 years. Right now, I still don't think this is a trophy winning team, but it's still a good team.
Under Rohit
Let
Sharma, anything
me
can happen.
talk
Yeah.
about
This is MI.
Mayank. I remember. I remember someone saying about Mayank Markande. Um, I
Yes.
think it was. I was listening to this podcast on Crickbuzz, and I think um, someone asked probably Anil Kumble or some. Yeah, someone asked Anil Kumble. I guess would you see as a potential future star among the Indian spinners? And that person said he didn't say Ravi Bishnoi, he didn't say Rahul Char, he said Mayank Markande. And even listening to that, even I was quite surprised. But I don't know. MIC potential in him. That's why they got him in the season
Yeah.
two
Why
years
didn't
back.
Anil Kumble try to get Mayank Markande? Because
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's too
Anil
fine.
Kumble should have. Anil Kumble
Yes,
should have if
because
he said something like that. But let's see. They have Alex Spinner. Let's see what happens. Even and if the Mumbai pitches are flat, then you really don't need a spinner. So let's see what happens. Let's move on to the next team, and that's one of our viewers' favorite team, RCB Royal Challengers Bangalore, and they have got CSK's. Favorite boy, Faf du Plessis, who might also captain at 7 CR. So that's a good buy there. I think one into Asaranga, even though he's a good player, they went really hard at him and overpaid for him. Apart from that, I like the acquisition of Dinesh Karthik, great finisher. Josh Hazelwood, good buy. Anuj Rawat and Mahipal Lomror are two of the guys I always watch out for. So those are good buys. And the backups, I really like their backups. Jason Berendoff, David Willey are two good backups. Sharfren Rutherford, again, I have seen him. He has a strong power hitting base. And Phil Allen, again, Phil Allen is a good opener as well. Shikhar, if you want to
sir, you
talk
missed
about.
the best pick. Karan Sharma.
Sorry, who?
Karan Sharma.
Who? Karan Sharma, obviously.
the Lucky
Actually, I
Sharma of
was
IPL.
Yes.
I was
He's been
discussing
17,
with one of
18.
my friends that they should have gone for Amit Mishra, but I understand why they have gone for Karan Sharma, considering that he can give them the trophy. And if Karan Sharma doesn't give them the trophy, then I think it's difficult for RCB to win a trophy. Shikhar, your thoughts on this RCB squad?
yeah. I guess they have done the job pretty well.
Hmm?
Overpaid Harshal Patel and Vainandu Asangranga, I would say, but then they had a good idea of what they are doing, is what I see here.
Hmm.
They are good in backups. They have good options like Suyash Prabhu Desai and
Yeah,
somebody like an Chama Milind as well, left
yeah.
armer from uh, Hyderabad, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he
And
has a lot of cutters, right? Chama Milin bowls a lot of
yeah,
cutters.
he has a lot of orders. And then other like great buy at Shabazz Ahmed. He had been there in the camp for like last 2 or 3 years, and they got him back. and if he can do what he did in the practice matches with them last year, then it would be very helpful for them. Josh Hazelwood as well, Mohammad Siraj, both. And I would just say that the only thing concerns me is the spinning department.
Hmm.
I don't think that Vainandu Hasranga might help them, like, because seeing their team in the past, Yuzvendra Chahal has been their go-to bowler, even
Yeah.
in the bowlers graveyard called M Chinnaswamy. But I don't think that Vainandu Hasranga might have that effect. Hope he can counter that with his batting. So, like, the spin department is what worries me, but I guess they're pretty much covered with it. And other things, like, yeah, seems good.
Otherwise, the question for you: they have 3 and 5 two Indian batters, maybe Anuj Rawat and Mahipal Lomror, or a Suyash Prabhu Desai, and 4 is Maxwell. Maxwell had a great season last year, but we always know what his general IPL season is: 150 run season with uh, 2 sixes and 3 ducks, or something like that. So if Maxwell starts doing something like that, and 3 and 5 also not consistent, do you think their middle order can struggle?
Yes, the middle order can struggle because they don't have any experience down there except of Glenn Maxwell, who you
Hmm.
said we can't just rely on. Because if
Yeah.
we say Shahbaz Ahmed, then Mahipal Lomror, Anishwar Gautam, I don't see any such established players right there. So
Hmm.
that could be an issue. Anuj Rawat, yes, Dinesh Karthik is an experienced batsman, but he is more into commentary now rather than playing cricket. So I don't know how effective he is currently. So
Yeah.
yes, it's quite a bit uh, a bit of concern for the RCB. If Maxwell doesn't fire, then that's a concern for them.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that Maxwell fires because he's a
Yes.
treat to watch and everybody loves him. Uh, Nina, the question for you: if you are online, what if they choose DK as captain?
I
Um,
guess
Not a
DK
bad
dropped the
choice,
captaincy for
honestly.
KKR.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
won't take it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, DK is not a bad choice for captaincy, but it all depends on him. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Saurabh has answered the question as well.
Yeah, I think Maxwell might be the captain and not Faf. That could be the case. Maxwell is a good captain. I was saying about him in the pre-show as well. I like him as a captain. I'm just hoping that he performs because if he starts performing as he has done in the previous IPLs, then it's a disaster for RCB.
But let's
Very
just keep
few
Maxwell
teams
as a
have good
batsman
spinners.
only because he hasn't
Yeah,
performed
okay.
to that extent even in the BBL when he is captain. Yes, he's a great captain, but I guess because of that extra pressure, he just isn't able to perform to that level. So let's just mute the batsman.
Nikhil is saying definitely Faf. Just quickly on to the 11. Uh, I'm just showing the purse remaining and the money which we are going to get later on. Virat Kohli Faf as opener. The only problem I see here is the opposition teams starting with left arm spinners because both start slow against them. Anuj Rawat, Maxwell, Mahipal Lomror. 3 and 5 are not yet set. They can change it. 6 Dinesh Karthik finisher. Then one into Asaranga, Harshal Patel, good, decent batting options, and then they can give their 4 overs. And then Hazelwood and Siraj, I like that bowling combo as well. Siraj can give you a couple of overs at death. Hazelwood, good power play bowler, and he has started doing well at the death as well. The 9, I think they should go with Shabaz Ahmed. Ninad, quickly on this 11.
Yeah, seems like a pretty decent 11. I would pick Lomror and Shahbaz Ahmed. Looking at
Hmm.
Lomror, what he has, with the limited chances he has got with Rajasthan, he did perform in a couple of innings. He did perform decent at. Shahbaz Ahmed has already played under Virat Kohli for the Royal Challengers
Yeah.
Bangalore. So, and he also gives you a bit of batting. He gives you
Yes.
that all-round dimension. So yeah, Lomror and Shahbaz Ahmed would be my pick. But other than that, yeah, I agree with this playing 11.
Yeah, Advait, their best buy. I think it's DK at 5.5. That's my personal opinion. I think still he can offer a lot at the finisher's role.
At 5.5. Let me just look
Yeah,
at the buys.
yeah, sure. Ninad,
Yeah.
anyone which comes to your mind?
No, DK, as Rohit Sharma said, DK has a lot of cricket left in him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I still see him. He has the capability to do great things. in the death.
I will say Pap as 7.
Faf at 7, yeah, goodbye again. Shikhar, what do you think of Anuj Rawat as a future keeper opener 3.5? I think they're looking to invest in him. But apart from that, who is the goodbye for you?
Yeah, I would also go with DK at 5.5. He has got cricket under his back, as Rohit Sharma says, and Anuj Rawat is a good prospect, left-handed keeper, rare
Yeah.
breed, I would say. After Rishabh Pant, I don't think any one break out into circuit that well. And on the playing 11, I guess if things go southwards for them, they can do one thing is like play Lomror and Shuyesh Prabhudesh have all both together and
Hmm.
get rid of Vaidandu Hasaranga and shift get Finn Allen because Lomror and Suyash both can give you overs at least two,
Okay.
three,
Yeah.
and they both are different. Like Mahindra Lumru is a left arm orthodox, and Suyash would give you right arm fast medium, as per his bio. So if things go southward very soon in the like very in the early stages of the tournament, they might think of doing that with shifting Virat Kohli to three, getting rid of Vainandu Hasaranga and getting Finn Allen at the top.
Interesting variation of the 11. Let's move on to the next team, the Delhi Capitals, who are the most, what can I say, most times they raise the paddle. They got only 24 players and they have got only 7 overseas players, which itself is a mistake because you need to have 8 overseas players. I mean, it's not a compulsion, but it's good to have more overseas players than less. So I think David Warner, great steal, 6.25, and even we are discussing on group, Shaw and Warner opening is like a dream combo. Mitchell Marsh again a goodbye. Lord Thakur is with Rishabh Pant, and even Alungi is with Pant. So that's something which the memes were saying in the on Twitter and Instagram. I think they got conned into Khalil Ahmed's bid. They didn't need two left arm seamers. Apart from that, I think they have some goodbyes in Sarfaraz and Kamlesh and Mustafizur as well. And Srikar Bharat, as we discussed. So, Advait, what are your thoughts on Delhi Capitals as the squad is in front of you?
Delhi, as usual, have done quite have picked up some great names here.
Hmm.
They have done. You can say yes that Delhi have been doing it since they have changed their names
Change
from
their name,
to Delhi
yeah,
Capitals.
yeah,
They have done some pretty good buying as usual. Quite consistent. Kamlesh Nagarkoti, Kuldeep Yadav at two.
yeah.
If we
Kuldeep
if we
Yadav,
can get Kuldeep Yadav back to the original Kuldeep, then at 2 crores the steal. Shardul Thakur, yes, he's good. Enric Norkia, Lungia Ngidi, their bowling department looks quite good along with Akshar Patel. Then I guess Lalit Yadav will have to do a bit more this time. Mitch
yeah,
Marsh, Rishabh Pant, Shikhar Bharat at 2 crores, as we discussed, is a pretty good buy because he
hmm.
can be a very good backup keeper to Rishabh Pant if he
Yeah,
gets injured. Because I guess in 2019,
yeah,
Rishabh Pant was injured and they had to completely change the batting order. Marcus Stoinis was also dropped to just bring in Sam Billings, I guess.
yeah.
So
Alex Carey, yeah,
yes, Alex Curry had to bring in.
yeah,
So I guess that's why they got a backup Indian keeper, and Shikhar Bharat is quite a good addition to that. Yash Dhul, pretty exciting to watch him. How will he
yeah.
play or perform? And David Warner. So yes, that's some quite interesting and good buys.
Yeah, DC have had a special love for under 19 winning captains. They bought
Yes.
Unmukh Chand, they bought Prithvi Shaw, and now Yash Dhul. They have they invested in Rishabh Pant back then. They had bought Abhishek Sharma. They do this. They have a tradition of investing in under 19 players. Shikhar, first 11. This is what something it looks like this. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Just the concern that they should have filled the eighth spot,
Yeah.
overseas spot for and replacement of Roman Powell or Mitchell Marsh, because
Hmm.
they don't like if one of them is not playing, they might be looking at three overseas players and eight Indian players at a time. Just to add on the fact, just two is from their academy,
Yeah, I know that.
so
Yeah.
that in that case, like if someone is not playing, like Roma Powell or Mitchell Marsh is not going as per their plans, then I guess just Dool might come in or somebody like Ripal Patel or Sarfaraz Khan. might get a
Yeah.
chance in there. Else, it looks a good side. Like getting Kuldeep Yadav, as everyone said, and I am pretty sure that he will be back and he will give you money for value at 2 crores. It is a complete steal, I would say. And other things looks pretty good. Other buys on other buys, Kamlesh Tagakoti has got a
Hmm.
potential. He can bat as well, so that's also a good buy at 1.1. And yeah, and then no Angiri as well for replacement of Henrik Nokia is also a good buy.
Yes, adding to
Yeah.
Shikhar's
Yeah.
point of Kuldeep
Yeah.
Yadav, I guess the thing missing with Kuldeep Yadav was the lack of confidence from both Indian team and even the KKR
Take
management.
care,
He
franchise. Yeah.
wasn't he wasn't getting any match time because even yes even in Indian team they changed the plan from two leg spinners to one leg spinner and Ravindra Jadeja. So that was the reason they dropped Kuldeep Yadav. But even if you can't play for an IPL team, then that takes a bit of hitting on you. So I guess if he gets constant time at Delhi Capitals, he might perform.
Yeah, and just to say, like, I would be harsh when I'm saying this, but I guess KKR management did treat him well. They wanted to get him at a faster pace, which is not really his game, but he did that, and he got in trouble. Now we saw in the ODI one he played
Yes,
as well,
third ODI.
though he was getting hit. He was like constantly getting hit by Odion Smith, but
Yes,
still
he was
he
spinning the
tried
ball.
to
He was spinning the
he
ball.
was spinning the ball, he was giving
Yes,
air to the ball, and that's what Kuldeep Yadav is for.
yes.
Give he's not a quick like a Rashid Khan type leg spinner. He's more of an orthodox leg spinner, and
He was
yeah,
constantly troubling Jason Holder.
yeah.
Yes. So that's quite a
Vinod,
good
yeah,
thing.
quickly, if you can do an impression of Rishabh Pant behind the stumps with Kuldeep Yadav bowling, that would be fun.
No, thanks.
Yeah, yeah, great. Just a quick question coming in. Mandeep Singh and Sarfaraz Khan are following each other in every team. First RCB, then PBKS, and DC now. Yeah, they have been in the same team for quite a long time. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It
And
was
then
the case with another two guys, if I remember. Uttappa and Pandey. For the first 5 6 years, they first were with RCB, then they went
Yes,
to
then KKR.
Pune
KKR.
for 2 years,
Yes.
and then they went to KKR. Yeah, so the three teams. That was the case with Uttappa and Pandey. DC is probably the most stable team this year, says Raghav Shah. Nina, quickly their best buy. I think David Warner at 6.25
Yep.
is a
Yep,
steal.
that's a steal because it's a steal basically because if you would see any other team retaining Warner, that would use a 15 crores for. That's 9 crores lesser.
Shikhar, I think it's Kuldeep Yadav for you.
no, I would stick with Ninad as well. Six
Okay.
point two five for David Warner
Warner
is
is like the goat of the IPL now
yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to
Yeah.
scoring runs.
yeah,
Advait, for you,
yeah.
same?
Definitely David Warner. I thought he must get at least 10 to 11 crores, but he
Yeah.
just got
Yeah.
6.25.
Even I was expecting around 8 or 9 at least.
Yes.
Let's
So
move on to Shikhar's secret. Shikhar is a secret agent of this team. He doesn't let us know. But Shikhar, let's start with you. Who is Ramesh Kumar and Pratham Singh and Ashok Sharma and Aman Hakim Khan? I'm pretty
See,
sure
I
that
like.
you have given these names, right?
Uh, I won't say anything, but I would say that Pratham Singh
oh,
is a good hitter.
Okay.
I would just say that, and apart from that, yeah, they're good buys.
Yeah. Yeah, anyone at base price is a good buy. But the
Yeah.
favorite buy for Advait Lechke in this team is Sam Billings at 2 CR, who is also going to be their wicket keeper because he was mentioning on the group constantly that Sam Billings has gone unsold. And finally, when he got
let's
a
be
bid,
honest, Sam Billings is a good buy at 2 CR
yeah,
Yeah.
because
yeah, everybody agrees.
I was quite shocked when Sam Bennings Matthew Wade both went unsold at the auction in the first round because if if you're not picking them at their base price, then I just don't know what you're doing because as we all know, there was a shortage of keepers, and
Yeah,
in that scenario, these two were getting unsold. Even Riddhiman Saha got unsold. Shrikar Bharat went unsold, and we were discussing in the pre-show that there's a shortage of wicket keepers,
Yeah.
and the franchises were not buying keepers, so I was a bit shocked.
And the
Yes,
teams were splurging money, 10.75 CR on
yes.
Nicholas Puran, who is not even consistent. But I think one more buy, which I like from the Kolkata Knight Riders, which is also surprising, that they bought Alex Hales at 1.5 CR because he's an internationally discarded player and even an IPL discarded player. And the Kolkata Knight Riders is a team who had Ian Morgan, and now they have bought Alex Hales because they removed Ian Morgan. So
No, no,
that's
I
the
just
only.
guess they just wanted to build back the Chrislin type of person. They just wanted to get someone who can do what Chrislin did for them in those years, because that was pretty a good time for KKR. So I guess that was the thought process behind getting Alex Sales.
Yeah.
And at 1.5 crores, he's a really great buy.
Yeah, and Ninad's favorite Rinku Singh is back with KKR as well. Ninad, quickly on the probable playing 11. Unfortunately, Ajinkya Rahane has to open because they don't have any other option. If they bring in Alex Hayes, then they have to drop Sam Billings, which they can't because Sam Billings is the keeper. But Shreyas Iyer is their big buy, 12.25 CR, who is also most likely to be their captain. Apart from that, they have bought in Nitish Rana. What do you think of this 11? You were suggesting something like Narayan opening and something like that.
Yeah, so in case things don't work out with because the thing is that you don't have any explosive hitters. See, you've got Iyer, obviously, can accelerate
Hmm.
pretty well at the start, but Rahane is an anchor. Shreyas
Yeah,
Iyer, he can go up pretty quick, but he's not out and out known for uh, hitting big sixes. Same
yeah.
thing with Nitish Rana. Also, you have Andrew Russell at six, but there are a lot of questions about his current form. So, what I would probably another dimension for KKR is go back with Sunil Narayan opening at number two, opening with
Hmm.
Venkatesh Iyer, slot him in instead of Rahane or Jackson.
Yeah,
And then now see, another factor over here is the death bowling. They do not have a proper death bowler. I mean, you have got good quality in Cummins. He's probably their best bowler. Chakravarti, yes, he's high quality, but he's going to be used in the middle overs. You can't have a
hmm.
spinner bowl in the death. It's pretty risky. So
Means
what I
yes,
was thinking is we've seen Umesh Yadav, his numbers I guess in 2018 in the
As a
power play
power play bowler. Yeah,
as a power
yeah.
play bowler is it's pretty good. So use
Hmm.
Umesh Yadav at eight or at nine up front in the power play. Finish those 3 overs. Plot a fourth over somewhere in the middle. Send in Narayan opening with Iyer. That gives
that's
you
the
an
question.
extra bowler. It gives you 4 extra overs of bowling. So in case you have Andre Russell or maybe even Naren have an off day in the field or Shivam Mavi, you have those cushion. You have that cushion of 4 extra overs.
Hmm. Advait, yes, you wanted to say something.
Yes. Means according to means whatever I understand from Ninad, they don't have death bowling, they don't have finishing powers, they don't have explosive batting at the top. So just the question, what do KKR have to be a T20
Uh,
team?
they have a captain. That's it. They bought a captain at 12.25 CR. Apart from that, even I haven't understood. Yes, they bought back Shivam Mavi at 7.25, but they haven't covered bases. Shikhar, what do you think? Because even Advait was messaging me saying that they have a similar batting lineup like Rahane,
One D
Iyer,
batting,
Rana.
yes.
Yeah, quality batting, but none of them are strikers, as we say, or power hitters. Russell is the only one who is again not in form. So, what do you think, Shikhar?
And I would just add to that Venkatesh Iyer is just an half season old,
Yeah,
so we don't know
yeah.
Yes.
how he's going to play. I guess once again they are going to have that false seven problem, where the
Hmm.
seven guy is not bowling and he's not
Not
batting.
batting.
He's a
Yeah.
batsman. He's not bowling and he's not getting to bat. One
But
thing
he's
they
the
can
best
do,
fielder. But he's the best
yeah,
fielder. Rinku. Yeah.
yeah.
Even
Both,
Anukul Roy.
be,
Even Anukul
be
Roy.
it Anukul Roy,
Yes.
be it Rinku Singh, he's going to be the best fielder there.
Yeah.
So I guess while things again, I guess while starting, they might think of doing this is getting Alex Hales in it with Venkatesh Iyer and get Sheldon Jackson bat at five.
Hmm.
This won't solve any problems, but I guess the firepower at the beginning might help them get some good power play scores, and then Shreyas Iyer and Nitish Rana can do what they do the best. Coming and think that Enter Russell comes in the 15th over
Hmm.
and gives you 30 odd runs. every 3 games or 2 games. But I strongly feel that Alex Hill is going to open for them, and Sheldon
Okay.
Jackson would be the keeper at
Okay.
5.
Yeah, that could be an option. That's exactly what Saurabh is suggesting as well. They need an explosive batsman at the top. That's for sure. If Venkatesh Iyer doesn't perform, they might find themselves at the bottom of the table. Big predictions coming in from Saurabh Wandekar. Star this comment or whatever you can do, and we can send him the screenshot when KKR lift the trophy in 2022. But
And and
yeah,
and
you are.
and sorry, and just to
Yeah.
add on a thing on the Varun Chakravarti point, they have bid hard on him that he's going to be their gun bowler. But what I've seen and what how he bowls, he usually bowls a short ball in the fourth or the fifth, the last 3 balls. One of them is a short ball, and he consistently bowled a short ball in an over, is what I have seen. And the trends are good for him because the good balls he bowl are in the first three games. But when he'll start bowling that short ball up front,
Hmm.
though in the first ball or the second ball, his efficiency is going to come down. And as Joy Bhattacharya said in 2019 when he was bought by KXIP,
Yeah,
that
at
yes, he's a good buy
8.4.
at yeah, he's a good buy at 8.4. He will win you 4 games a season
Hmm.
and then just keep it on the bench. He's that kind of a player. Sorry, Varun
Okay.
Chakravarti, for this comment, but in my opinion, that's the fact.
Yeah, but Varun Chakravarti isn't watching this, so you can say whatever you want. But what I think was some of their bidding was strange as well. They had 20 crore in the bank, and they made a bid of 10.5 for Nicholas Puran. Similarly, they had 12 crore in the bank or 10 crore in the bank, and they made an 8 crore bid for Tim David. So some things I didn't understand. They have a strong team there. AR Srikanth is their analyst, and Venki Mysore their CEO. The other 3 members were just sitting on the table. I don't want to name them, but they even have Shikhar Sarang outside the table. So that's something which we can't comment on. Let's move on to the next team. Let's talk about. We talked about SRH, but I think this team has nailed their auction right on point. They had the most budget and they have got it absolutely right. Just look at those first four buys. Shikhar Dhawan, Kagiso Rabada, Johnny Bairstow, Rahul Chahar, add Shah Rukh Khan to that, add Liam Livingstone to that, add Odeon Smith to that. I'm just keeping adding. Advait, on point, isn't it?
I guess along with Lucknow, they have just
Yeah,
nailed the auction. These
yeah,
two teams have really nailed the auction because they have got whatever it needs to win the trophy. Then it's just how you perform. But on paper, these two teams look the strongest. They have done pretty good buying, and almost all their bases are covered. If you look at
yeah,
Punjab Kings, there's
absolutely.
just
This is the most explosive batting lineup you'll find. You have a Mayank Agarwal who is
Um,
a gun against
like
spin. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
yeah, no, like how we said, KKR lacking firepower. This is the complete opposite. It's like it's filled. Like yeah, if you would see the top, if you could show the playing 11,
yeah, yeah. Here we go.
yeah, that would give our viewers a better idea. I mean, you've got Dhawan and Agarwal left, right, opening combo. Brilliant, two brilliant openers. They have proved themselves in the IPL. Dhawan finding a new gear in the past two
Yeah,
years as well.
yeah.
Johnny, keeper at three.
Yes,
Um,
Papa.
expect,
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
yeah, expect some great things from him. Also, I feel Liam Livingston. Okay, some people like would have said that he hasn't performed in the last season, so why get him at 11? But he is one player who has a lot of potential, and he's at the peak of his career right now.
he's the only
And
person
plus,
of his own kind.
yeah, I
No
mean,
one else can do what he does.
he comes in at ball one and he can smash sixes at will, be it in
Yeah, and he
any
can smash
stadium
it
now.
like from
Yeah,
Wankhede till my
yeah,
house, which is like not, it's far away, I think.
yeah. You put him in the MCG or you put him in Chinnaswamy, the ball is going for a six
Yeah,
once he connects it well. And he gives you this really flexible option of a leg spinner and a off spinner. He can ball
yeah,
any of it which is required. So that really helps out in the team balance also. Like, say, if Rahul Char is having off day, he could give you leg spin. If Harpreet Brar is having off day, he could give you off spin. I mean, yeah. And then there's Shah Rukh Khan also. He also won Punjab a couple of games last season. with his like
Absolutely.
explosive.
Yeah.
He's pretty explosive, and the faith that they've shown in him, it's just going to boost his morale.
Sir, just a
And
Shikhar.
yeah,
question.
Yeah.
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 I heard somewhere that Shah Rukh Khan didn't want to stick with Punjab Kings.
Yeah. That's
So,
exactly what my point was. But now they have
so
bought him
is
back,
it
so he
good?
doesn't. Yeah.
So is it good to buy back a player who doesn't want to play for you?
I mean, now he
Because
has to play.
Yeah.
yes, he will play, but will he play with that same dedication or at that same level which he should?
See, you can't question that in a pre-show. I mean, you can't really say that's all in the player's mind. But see,
Yeah.
let's try to maybe dive into what could maybe the reasons. The reasons was that it was too Punjab was too dependent on their openers and no one else. And if things failed, it was just they were dependent on Shah Rukh Khan. Now the team scenario and balance has changed completely. They've got four. Like here, if you see the top five, Shah Rukh Khan is the most junior player, so he wouldn't have that much performance pressure as well. So he could go out and play his innings much more freely compared to last season.
Yeah, Shikhar, and even they have nailed their bowling. I think Arshdeep was retained. Kagiso Rabada at 9.25. Again, a good buy, who is one of the gun overseas bowlers. Rahul Chahar, gun leg spinner. Orion Smith can bowl with pace, we saw in the ODI series. And then Harpreet Brar, a decent left arm spinner. And again, one of Rishi Dhawan and Raj Bhawa. Rishi Dhawan has been in great form in the domestic circuit, and Raj Bhawa, we all know what he can do in the under 19. I think they have nailed their bowling as well.
Yeah, they have like got everything covered. Uh, Apart from the thing, like there's two that everything's got a second side of the coin. I would say that they, as they had shown a big trust on Liam Livingston, but they should have got a backup for him. I don't see a backup. What if he fails? Or let's not see if he fails, but if he has to depart early or come late, in that case, I don't see anyone there. And they had a purse remaining of 3.5 crores. They
Yeah.
could have gone
Got
for him.
another foreign. Yeah. Again, they
Yeah,
have gone with seven overseas, which is again a mistake. They could have added an eighth
Someone
overseas,
like Jimmy
especially.
Neesham or
Yeah,
they could have
especially
done
with the
for
purse,
yes.
especially with the purse, because with DC at least they didn't have a purse. But Punjab Kings, I don't know why they are filled with so many Indian players, but still they have a great 11. And Sandeep Sharma is a good backup buy. Even I think they
yeah.
got Ishan Porel as well as a backup buy. Yeah, and then
You can
Prabhsimran Singh,
even look at Vaibhav Arora if he
Arora.
gets.
Yeah,
He's a great fast bowler from
yeah.
Himachal.
Yeah, and then Prabhsimran and Jitesh, two of the wicket keepers which we had mentioned in our pre-show,
The best
have been.
point of Punjab Kings is that they've got a lot of all rounders.
Yeah.
They can bat in number nine and I
Hmm.
guess 7 to 8 bowling options.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
save,
pretty
yeah.
decent. Yes, so
Odeon
means
Smith, Liam Livingstone, everyone can bowl.
yes.
Yeah, agree with
So
you there.
pretty great team. They just need to perform now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if they don't make the playoffs this year, I mean, they have to make the playoffs this year. No excuses there.
I guess then they
Yeah,
must
it's so. If
leave the
if if
IPL.
anyone remembers about the 2008 Kings 11 team, it's pretty similar to them. They had to make the playoff, and I guess they will make the playoffs this time.
Yes.
Yeah, and Ninad, you even also said that they had a great auction because somebody was missing on that auction table. We won't get into details. That's it from Ninad. Let's move on to the next team, Rajasthan Royals, who have a pretty similar color to Punjab Kings, and I think they have got only one buy wrong. Apart from that, I think they have got a good team. They got Devdutt Padikkal for 7.75 with two set openers, but their CEO has said that Padikkal is going to bat at 3, which pushes Samson at 4, which I don't quite like, but that's fine. I think that they have a really great spin attack in Chahal and Ashwin. What do you think, Advait?
I guess their best buys were their best auction was in the accelerated phase. Where
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just got, I guess, some of the best players in that accelerated phase.
yeah. I
They
will,
just
I will highlight those players. Yeah, these four
yes.
players. Yeah.
Before that, it was quite a decent auction for them. But those last four buys, I guess, they were just superb with those four buys. Uh, yeah, they are a bit top order heavy. Means the
Hmm.
top four, all the top four are openers basically. Yes, Josh. I guess the only thing they can do now is to push Josh Butler at four, but will they do that? Because Butler has been a gun opener. Because if we look at that Yashasvi Jaiswal, Devdutt Padikkal, neither of them can play at four. And Sanju, being the captain, he won't drop himself at four.
Hmm.
So I guess that's one area where they, I guess, missed the trick by getting Devdutt Padikkal because they already had Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
all both are almost similar type of players. Both are young. Both are left-handed.
Yeah.
Jaiswal being a more aggressive one
Aggressive.
than Devdutt,
Yeah.
yes, more
Exactly.
aggressive
Exactly.
than Devdutt Padikkal. So going behind Devdutt Padikkal at 7.75 didn't make me sense. I guess it didn't even make sense for Rajasthan Royals after looking at their reactions. So yes, even Riyan Parag. I guess these two are the spots it might concern them
Hmm.
because
Yeah. I
otherwise
agree with you there. Yeah.
yes. Apart from that, it looks a pretty great team. Another team which should make playoffs.
Hmm.
So I guess these are the three teams which should make playoffs
Yeah.
along with
Again,
LAC.
as Advait said, they doubled their overseas quota in 5 minutes, buying James
Yes.
Neesham, who can be a backup for Nathan or even start instead of Nathan Coulter-Nile. Because Ninad was mentioning that. Ninad, can you give that option to them? Before that, comment on RR. What RR did best was letting go of Shivam Dubey, Rahul Tiwati, and Jaydev Unadkar. Ninad would relate to this because one of his favorite players is Shivam Dubey, and he was really sad that he isn't in Rajasthan Royals anymore.
They wanted Shivam to be back, Rajasthan Royals.
Yeah, I think they tried for Unadkat
Yes.
as well once again, and I don't know. I think they didn't try for Unadkat this time, but
No, they did
yeah,
try.
for Shivam Dubey they tried. They tried for they got Riyan Parag, and yeah, Nina, you're mentioning that if Jimmy Neesham bats at seven, that strengthens their six and seven, not six but seven looks good. In fact, they can push Neesham at six and put Parag at seven as a floater, and then that strengthens their batting, but the bowling looks a bit then only four bowlers and then Jimmy Neesham as the fifth.
Yeah, but see, it depends again where you're playing, and
Hmm.
ideally, Riyan Parag bowling 2 overs also, and Nisham bowling 2. That's something which would be questionable. But see, this team may have the comfort of doing that because you've got Ashwin, you've got other bowlers who are proper quality bowlers. You would have probably Trent Bolt bowling in the power play, Prasid
Yeah,
Krishna in the death
yeah,
as well as in the power play, or they could even
in the
use
middle,
Prasid Krishna in the
in
middle
the
as an
middle.
enforcer.
Yeah,
Yes.
enforcer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Ashwin also
They have
maybe
got
in the power play. So it's a pretty flexible bowling lineup, but
yes.
it would be better if I guess Nathan Coulter staying in the first 11 would be a better option.
Just one more concern. If on a bad day their batting collapses, then they just have batting till seventh. Because
yeah.
Ashwin
That's the only
in
problem.
T20,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah,
because Ashwin in
Ashwin is not
T20 is
exactly
not
a
one of the
T20
best.
batsman.
Riyan
yeah,
Parag has not proved
Yeah,
himself. So they have batting just till five, till Shimron
yeah.
Hetmyer. Because
Then
yeah.
Parag
I
hasn't
guess
performed.
they would, if that happens, they would just have to pray that Trent Bolt hits some flamingo shots and
Yes,
Yuzvendra Chahal
yes.
gets his MRF bat and smashes some straight
I
drives.
guess he needs to borrow it from Virat Kohli then.
Yeah, that's
He'll
the
have to borrow
question
it.
now. Is he getting the MRF bat because he's not with Virat Kohli?
Yeah,
Shikhar, they have
probably as a
strong backups as
passing
well.
gift.
Yeah, strong backups as well. Obed McCoy for Trent Bolt, left arm for left arm. Daryl Mitchell as an opener in case Josh Butler is injured. Rassi van der Dusen can slot in the middle order if something happens to Shemron Hetmeyer. Strong backups as well there.
Yeah, strong backups there, as you mentioned, for them, and they also have Navdeep Saini for
Yeah, for
Prasid Krishna
Prasid Krishna. Yeah.
when things goes wrong. I just my concern is on the same lines as others that they have three number 11s
Mm.
in the bottom. So, ba- after eight, no one is going to bet. I will tell you that.
Mm.
And the other fact is, I guess uh, the death bowling Prasid Krishna is not that.
Yeah, death bowling could be a
that
concern.
that
Yeah.
that bowling can be an issue because if I'm not wrong, he gave away I guess 40, 20, 24 odd runs to Jadeja in the last encounter
Yeah.
against them.
Yeah.
So that could be an issue because Nathan Coulter is also not a gun death bowler. He's like, if you want a bat bowler who can bat, then you might go for Nathan Gooden. So let's see how it goes in the death.
Something maybe, if I could add on, sorry to interrupt you, Shikhar.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, say something maybe that this team could look forward if they want to increase their bowling quality would be, see, they've got a pretty solid top four. And if
Hmm.
these top four perform consistently and have a good season, having Shimran Hetmeyer at five kind of like it reduces his effect. So then you could maybe see Rian Parag has also shown us quite a bit of promise. So you could probably shift Parag at five and then have uh,
Nisham.
Jimmy Neesham
Jimmy.
coming in at six. So then he could give you those two cushion overs probably. So that would strengthen their bowling lineup.
Yeah.
But then that's provided that top four perform. And I don't know, maybe Josh Butler would perform. I guess Josh the boss is there. Josh Bhai
Just by. It's
is
Josh
just
there.
and
by.
even
Josh
David
Bhai.
Padikkal. You can bank on this too,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Jaswal and
and
Samson,
Samson is
not
highly
sure.
inconsistent as you've seen, but
Yes, same
yeah,
sorry,
goes with
sorry,
and
SC
Samson.
Jaswal.
and I had
You can't
a,
just keep.
strong opinion on getting Rashid introduction in this innings, in this batting lineup, because if you see, if a collapse happen, I don't see anyone who can be like that. Like, I am standing
Yes,
there, I will be there. You just
Hmm.
wait for a minute, wait for two, sorry, not a minute, like 2 3 over, and
Yeah.
we can build this inning. So I was like, while figuring out, I was thinking that I didn't knew that Devendra Padikkal is going to bat at three. I was thinking that Rashi might bat and we might have to drop Shimran Hetmaya for this thing. But if the CEO said that DDP is batting at three,
Yeah, that's what the
then
CEO said. Even I'm not sure about. I'm not. I don't like Padikkal at three. He should have
but
either
if we
yeah,
are given
opened
and
or.
someone 7.75 crores, I
Yeah.
don't think
So you
other
have
than
to.
CSK, anyone would bench him.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Once you pay the money, you have to
Yes,
play him now. But the best buy, I think, is UZ Chahal for RR at 6.5 or 25, whatever it is. It's very cheap. What is it? 6.5.
yes,
6.5, great buy. Very cheap. And India's best leg spinner. So, no doubt about that. I think everybody agrees with me on that.
yes, definitely.
yeah.
Even Dhawan at 8.25 is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have the one.
No, sorry. Uh,
You're getting
Dhawan is
confused
in
with
Punjab.
Punjab Kings. That happens. That
yes,
happens when you have 10 teams and you have a mega auction over 2 days. Let's move on to the Ashish Nehra's team, the Gujarat Titans, who had very new owners. I hadn't seen them before, and I think they had the strangest of auctions. I don't know what they have bought, to be honest. I can't build a team here. I mean, they had
and
three
Shivam
good
sir was
retention
there,
picks.
and Manish
I
Tigers.
would say that they had two good retentions. Sorry for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
Gale
yes,
is a solid opener, not a fast scoring opener, but a good opener. I would still have him. I think they have bought a good fast bowler in Lockie Ferguson. Agree with that. Shami decent buy. Roy is a good buy, but I don't know how they can play him because they need a keeper and they have to play Matthew Wade. Then they're in their middle order. I think Ninad, you're building that, and it's Vijay Shankar. Sorry, Advait, you're building that, and it's Vijay Shankar and Abhinav Sadrangani. Those are the two players who bat in the middle order. And I mean, what is it?
we just don't know what is that.
Yeah. Shikhar, any idea what they have done?
On Vijay Shankar, I must tell you that everyone, I know how everybody else knows. On Abhimanav Sadrangani, I must tell you that he had played for the Karnataka Premier League,
Hmm.
and he had had great 4 games for Karnataka in the SMET, where he was like, it was because of him that they reached the finals. I would tell you that Abhinav Sadrangani, and I was confused a bit because he everywhere his name was mentioned as Abhinav Manohar S,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
and it took me a while to figure out that yeah, he's the same guy as Abhinav Manohar.
Hmm.
So that can be a great buy
If
if
he
the
comes off.
potential he's shown, yeah, it
Yeah.
comes
but
off.
that's the only
And the
point
other
now.
other surprising thing is the analyst or somebody of Gujarat Lions had told the media that on the question of why they bought Rahul Tewatia at 9, which everyone
Hmm.
is surprised as I am.
Yeah.
They told
Yeah.
that they wanted a left-hander in the middle order, and I don't see him playing at 3 or
No.
4 for them at least. So I don't know how it's happening. Dominic Drakes is a risky buy, I would say. Noor Ahmed, if you see the price and the age, you would say it's a great buy. But if you say that he's pairing with Rashid Khan, I don't think why
Yeah,
he. It's literally like wasting a slot, an important overseas slot. Now,
yeah,
Alzarri
exactly.
Joseph is a good backup, but though being from Gujarat, I think I might not support them this season.
I
So
think
just adding to
Hardik,
Shikhar's point,
yeah,
yes, Shikhar said Abhinav is a pretty good buy. Yes, he's a good buy. But if you look from 4 to 9, all are finishers. No one is a batsman who can bat in the middle overs. All of them are finishers. So who is going to bat for them in the middle? If you are looking for Abhinav in the middle overs, I don't guess he's the best batsman to bat in
No,
that
no,
slot.
I didn't say that he's a best good buy. I was saying that what he has done and why he
No,
got
yes, yes, yes. I'm just
2.6.
saying that they are just looking at the finishing power, but all from 4 to 9 are finishers. No one in that list is someone who can bat in the middle and build the
No,
innings.
I think they're probably counting on Shubman Gill to play till the 16th over in every game.
yeah, and I'm not sure. I mean, even the Tewatia bit has confused me. Matthew Wade they bought in too late. So what they can do is open with Gill and Roy, bring in Shankar at 3, Abhinav Sadrangani at 4, Wade at 5, Hardik Pandya at 6, Tewati at 7. That's two overseas slots taken, and Loki and Rashid are the last two, and then R. Sai Kishore has to play there. Again, a good left arm spinner, but not a proven one. Ninad, Vijay Shankar has to score 450 runs at 135 strike rate if they need to make the playoffs, isn't it?
Or Hardik Pandya has to probably like come in at number 3 and smash like
I would just
4 centuries
request
this
Gujarat Titans
season.
not to do this thing, not to do that thing. I would just request Gujarat Titans because already in Team India we are having players in the middle who are playing at the top order. So we
Yeah,
just don't want to lose the finishers by pushing them in the IPL
Uh,
in their respective IPL
I
matches in the
mean,
middle order.
I don't have any comments. I don't know what to say. Looking at this team, I can't find words. So I just don't know what to say.
yeah. In simple words, I think they have messed it up with that purse, 52 CR, and apart from Matthew Wade at that price, I don't, and Roy at
Yeah,
2. I mean, Ferguson is a
Wade and
good
Roy are
buy,
good.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
Wade and Roy
but
are good value for money buys.
yeah, and Ferguson is a good buy, even though he was at 10 CR. But apart from that, 3, 4, 5, it's just completely empty. Shikhar.
Yeah, a possible thing is like play Matthew Wade, Rashid Khan, Loki Ferguson, and David
Hmm.
Miller.
Miller,
Make
okay, yeah.
Good.
Hmm.
On the recent note, Gurkirat Man Singh is not the firepower
Yeah, exactly,
finisher.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
go with him at 3, 4 Miller, 5 would be Abhinav, 6 Hardik Pandya, 7 Rahul Tewatia, 8 Rashid Khan, 9 Shai Kishore, 10 Mohammad Shami, and 11 Loki. And
yeah,
open with Matthew Wade and Suman Gill.
yeah. And then Miller has to again have a good season because
Yeah.
over the past couple of seasons, either he's not in the 11 or he hasn't done anything. So,
Yeah.
so Miller
So I
again.
would back Miller over Vijay Shankar to have a good season.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
same.
And RCB fans are messaging me saying that if Gurkirat Singh Man is playing, that then they are at the bottom of the table because Gurkirat Singh Man was wasting balls for RCB in a game apparently, which I know. So yeah, yeah, Gurkirat Singh Man shouldn't make the 11. I don't know why they bought him. Riddiman Shah again is a strange buy because they bought. I mean, if they open with him, then it's fine, but I don't know. It's really confusing. Gujarat will be giving free points this year. It seems as like that because they have got a strange squad. I mean, as Ninad said, we don't have words. Let's
I
move
guess
on to
this
the
is a
next.
squad which would
Only
either score
I
on that day they would score 240 or would just get all out on 80 to 90.
Yeah,
That
yeah
type of
like
playing 11.
I see only one positive from this team is that I can probably see Hardik Pandya play a lot of time, like for a lot of time. That's all.
yeah, because
Yes,
they
that's the
might
worst
be
part.
four down. They might be four down
He
in the 12th over.
Yeah, mostly the score would be 11 over 70 runs for 4 wicket, and Hardik
Hmm.
Pandya would be walking in.
I
Yeah,
guess
that
that's
is
not
a
good
high
then.
possibility. I think Wade is the best. Wade and Roy are the two good buys for them, but then they need to find a way to fit them first in the 11. Let's move on to which is probably the best 11. Punjab Kings comes close to that, but LSG, mind you, Gautam Gambhir on that table with Sanjeev Goenka has done some great work. And just look at that opening combination. Let's straight away go to the 11. I mean, they have only 11 players. Let's be honest. They finished their purse on those 11 players. And Ninad, first, I need to get your point on this. How are Krunal Pandya and Deepak Huda playing in the same team? I mean, isn't there I mean, I think you get my point.
Yeah, I mean, I called it before the auction. I just put in a message. I hope Deepak Hood and Krunal Pandya are in the same team, and probably FBI saw my chats. They told it to KL Rahul, get this done ASAP. And then yeah, we had them in the same team, and I guess I don't know. It's cool. I mean, do it for the memes, I guess. We've got a lot of
Interesting. Yeah.
meme team ups this time. Like we've even got Josh Butler and Ravi Ashwin in the same team. These two, Huda and Krunal. But I guess it's been a while since that incident has happened, and they
Hmm.
would probably just set their differences apart because they've got a bigger job to do here. And yeah, you
Quickly,
got to
a
be.
comment coming in. Most of the teams have one or two gaps in the 11, but Gujarat seems to have three or four. Agree with you. Otherwise, a lot of all rounders is what I see here. Deepak Huda, Marcus Stoinis, Krunal Pandya, Jason Holder, and if Krishnappa Gautam plays. Do you think this is like a way to go in T20 cricket, or this is something which might not work because these are bits and pieces player? What do you think?
I guess if this didn't work, then CSK and even MI, they
Hmm.
both wouldn't have been two of the most successful franchises because,
Yeah.
as we could see, they have always invested in all rounders. So I guess this is one of the best teams. This franchise Lucknow Super Giants. They have done
Hmm.
pretty good at the auction. Looking at this current 11, they have got some of those players like Manish Pandey, KL Rahul,
Hmm.
who could be the anchor. I don't want KL Rahul to be the anchor, but
Yeah.
the way he plays, these two pretty much would be the anchor, and everyone around them would just go
Go
around.
after
And
the borders. Yeah.
yes, their batting
Even
goes till eight. Yes,
sorry, carry on. I'll add on later.
yes. So even their batting goes till eight. So that's quite interesting. And I just can't find any faults in their playing 11. That's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah, Shikhar, even the bowling is covered. Avesh Khan Wood, that's again a dream bowling, fast bowling combination. Ravi Bishnoi is the leg spinner, good upcoming leg spinner. Jason Holder, another good bowler. And Krishnappa Gautam can give you 2 overs, 3 overs. Krunal Pandya can give you 2, 3 overs. Stoinis can give you 2 overs. Even Huda can chip in with overs. I think the bowling is good as well. I mean, great.
Yeah, it's great, but just on the fact that they don't have a quality replacement for Markwood, and they should have
Hmm.
got that
Hmm.
because Markwood just played one game at Chepauk in 2018 and got out of the season.
Yeah.
But Dushmanta Chamira is an
Yeah, I
underrated good
think
bowler. I would say
Chamira is one
Chamira,
of them.
if given chance, would go would prove his price. And I guess seeing on the 11, if the team is going good in the start, I might even think that Marcus Stoinis is shifted up to three and a bowler chips in at eight.
In place of Pandey,
And then
Manish
even
Pandey.
yeah, instead of Manish Pandey,
Yeah.
Yes, because
because
Yeah.
Manish
we
Pandey is
have
the only
seen
player who
Who
doesn't have
is
two qualities.
yeah, yeah.
Who's
I mean,
yeah,
you can
and
have
we have
Manish
seen that
for his fielding anyway, even if he's
yes.
not in the playing 11.
yeah, and we have seen that KL Rahul can play that anchor role and get destructive at the last death overs,
Hmm.
as he did with them in 2000 with Punjab in 2018, and with QDK at the top with them, we might see that more often than not because
Yeah.
I guess with spin QDK might not be that effective in the middle overs.
Who will be the wicketkeeper, Rahul or Quinton? I haven't seen Quinton de Kock field in the field, like do fielding. So I'm pretty sure he will keep.
And I haven't
And
seen KL Rahul
And I
keep
haven't,
when there's another keeper.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly, exactly. So Quinton de Kock will keep, and I mean, with so less wicket keepers, I don't know how they have managed to get Quinton de Kock at 6.75 CR, who is now a retired red ball cricket, only a white ball cricketer, so available for the whole season.
Just at the
Left-hander.
age of 29. Age
Yeah, at
also just
29. So he's another confirmed 6 to 7 years player. That's a minimum. I don't know. That's again a great buy there. And Shikhar, your guy Jason Holder is there. What are your thoughts on him? You were suggesting that he can bat up the order as well, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, as per my thinking, he can bat anything after four,
Hmm.
but the ideal would for him would be 5 or 6.
Hmm.
Let's see where he bats. Seven is too deep for him. It's like it's stereotype for West Indies all rounder that they come at five and they hit big sixes. But if you see Jason Holder, he's a very intelligent cricketer. He
Yeah.
can. If I remember one match for SRH, they were collapsing and he saved that innings from there coming at seven. So he's a smart cricketer. He has been the captain of the side, and he knows his like he's young and he knows his tactics well. So I guess he can bat at 4, 5, 6 if required, and he should bat at 4, 5, 6 and not at seven. In my opinion,
yes.
I
I need
strongly
a
with
holder
that.
above Kunal Pandya
Yeah,
in batting.
and
Yeah,
and
even
and
Deepak
also
Huda agrees with you.
also the thing is Krunal Pandya also at seven is not what I think because
Just
when
get him as a
if you
bowler.
if you remember great innings from Krunal Pandya, they are mostly match saving ones where he had like if you sorry
Sir,
if
just a
you see
question.
the final against RPS
Yeah.
and yeah so
Please don't get that up. It's a disappointing
Yes.
final.
Sir, Shikhar sir, means will you bet Kunal Pandya ahead of Marcus Stoinis, Deepak Hooda and Jason Holder? If you need to slot him, then yes. Because Hooda can't bat at anything below 5.
yeah
Same
actually
goes for
that's
Stoinis.
in my point of view, that's the main problem. That how will they order Marcus Stoinis, Deepak Huda, Krunal Pandya, Jason Holder in the same order, in the same batting lineup from 3 to 6 or maybe 4 to 7. Most preferably, it should be 3 to 6, but it would be 4 to 7. So let's see how it goes.
So
See,
maybe
with
what you
going
could do
away.
is,
Yeah, go ahead, Nina. Yeah.
since I mean, see, we've seen Krunal Pandya, he has class, but off from the past 2 3 years, I guess 2 years, you could say he's not
Hmm.
been in form at all. Like he
Hmm.
does get in those 2 3 economical overs, but other than that, that's it. So see, maybe you could someone have like a Krishnappa Gautam. Maybe you could push in if you want Holder to go up higher. Could have Holder at 6 maybe, or even 5 if you want. Stoinis to get that, give him that finishing role, and you could have Krishnappa Gautam at 7. So like Gautam also is a pretty tall built guy. He can he has the power to hit it over the fence also. So have Gautam and Nadeem both play in.
Then
Instead
that
of
three
it,
eleven
let's
guys
just keep
thing would come up.
let's just keep
Shabaz
Kunal
Nadeem,
Pandya in the
Ravi
team
Vishnu,
for
and
yes, yes, you
Yeah,
can
there
say.
would be three number 11s come up, but I guess you could push Markwood also. Yeah, but still
yeah,
at 9 10
Markwood is
11
going
you'd
to be
have,
your eighth batsman.
yeah, but still
I
you
am
would
talking
have
about
three
Ravi
number 11s at
Vishnu,
9 10 11.
Shabaz Azam, and Avish Khan.
Yeah, but
But still, they
looking
can
at
manage
this,
with the power they
yeah,
have.
looking at this batting order, uh, I don't see it collapsing much. Probably just 1 or 2 games, but not more than
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
Yes,
true.
so
Got the
let's just keep
quality of
Kunal
KL
Pandya for
Rahul
that
and Quinton de Kock.
collapsing thing. Let's just keep Kunal
Hmm.
Pandya in the team for that collapse. For that collapse. If a collapse happens, then just put Kunal Pandya at number 4. Otherwise, let's just play Kunal Pandya as the bowler.
Yeah, and Raghav Shah is commented saying highlight of the season will be Krunal getting run out and blaming Huda. Yes, I agree with you. But what I think is they might use everybody as a floater. Like you might not know who is coming out to bat after Manish Pandey. Even with Manish Pandey, you might just not know who is coming out to bat next. You might see everything going up, down, up and down, and it might work as well because everyone in those positions can bat anywhere. Mostly can bat anywhere. So that would be interesting to watch. And with Gautam Gambhir there, I think it's going to be interesting because they have absolutely nailed it at the auction. They've got Evan Lewis as a replacement for Decock, Dushman the Chamira for Mark Wood, And another Kyle Mayers is also a decent buy. I think they got Ankit Rajput for Avesh Khan. Avesh Khan is a great buy, make no mistake. Yes, they paid a lot of money, but he looks a great buy right now. 10 CR. If he can replicate what he did last year, it would be great. So I think we have covered all the 10 teams in 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's a marathon stream for us on Cricket Adda. And still five people are with us, which is great. So if you have any questions, quickly put it in the chat and we'll try and answer. Just before we leave, uh, we always think we already discussed that Lucknow Super Giants and Punjab Kings look the best. Advait, same for you.
Yes.
Ninad, apart from Mumbai Indians, who are the best?
Mumbai Indians, sorry, just MI.
Okay, okay, no
Uh,
issues.
I would
Shikhar,
say PBKS. They have the best
yeah,
squad on paper.
yeah, and Shikhar, considering that it's in Mumbai, you need explosive batting lineups and can't get more explosive than PBKS, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. PVKS is going to be like the top team, I guess. Might
With
might replicate the 2014 thing, and hope
yeah.
it's not for single season.
Hmm. Quickly, captain for PBKS, Mayank or Shikhar.
I would go with Mayank because Shikhar is a guy who would easily blend with somebody under the captains, and he won't have that ego issues kind of thing. It's not a thing for him, and he has done that. Like he has played under Virat Kohli, he had played under various
One.
Rishabh Pant or Shreyas Iyer or Rohit Sharma, and he would be a great guide to him at times, and then you have backing of Johnny Best or Liam Livingston, great
Yeah,
cricketing minds,
yeah,
and Kagiso Rabad as well.
yeah. Ninad, Mayank or Shikhar?
Yeah, I would agree with what Shikhar says. That I would go for
Shikhar
Mike.
says Mayank. Shikhar says Mayank. And even
Yes.
Advait is already a big fan of Mayank. And
Yes,
I'm
and
quite sure he's
Mayank
going with Mayank.
Agarwal, as I have heard that even his teammates rate him highly.
Yeah.
Means he has got a good cricketing brain. What I have heard about
Hmm.
Mayank Agarwal. So it would be interesting to see how he captains the team.
Raina Unsold sad. Yeah, it is an end of an era because, as we all know, Mr. IPL scoring 400 runs consistently each and every season is not a joke. Unfortunately, nobody picked him, but it's understandable as well because he hasn't been playing, and the last few games which he played for Chennai, he wasn't even near his best. But yeah, it's really sad because Suresh Raina, I was hoping that somebody picks him, even as a mentor, like just keep him in the squad, and it's
Yeah,
good
and
to
I
work with the youngsters.
after seeing that KKR, sorry, CSK having around 3 crores in
Hmm.
one
Yes,
slot remaining,
3.15.
I was kind of, though I'm not a CSK fan, no offenses, but I was thinking that yeah, they will get back him, and I can feel that CSK fans are sad now. Sorry, real
Yeah.
sad.
Top four teams on paper. I think we mentioned two LSG and PBKS. Nina, let's start with you.
Okay. Could you share screen the squad list again?
Yeah. Uh,
This has to. This needs a bit of thinking, honestly.
yeah, we have time.
Yeah.
We have
First,
gone.
first, first would be PBKS easily. Second,
Yeah.
I would say Lucknow. Um.
Yeah. See, CSK, I think you have like you now you know the outline. I'll just go quickly,
Mhm.
like just
Yeah. Yeah.
quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So CSK, Mumbai Indians.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know what Mumbai
Yeah.
Indians is made of. RCB.
Hmm.
RCB has a decent 11, I would
Yeah.
say.
I
If they
agree.
get the 3 and 5 spot correct, Delhi Capitals have a decent 11, I would say
Hmm.
again. KKR, I
Yeah.
think we all agreed that they don't have a balance in their 11. They don't have
Yeah.
explosive players. SRH again, I think they have got a lot of good names, but not a big names. So I don't know, is this a great side? Punjab Kings, we agree is in the top 4. RR should be close to the top 4 if they get some things right. Let's not talk about Gujarat Titans. So yeah, I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucknow and Punjab are
Yeah.
obviously there.
Punjab would be
Uh,
my first.
hmm,
Lucknow second. Delhi third, and RCB fourth.
Delhi third and RCB fourth. Okay,
RCB fourth.
Advait.
Punjab, Lucknow, Delhi. I
Hmm.
would just go in with Rajasthan Royals because of their bowling.
Yeah, I would go with Rajasthan, Punjab, Lucknow, Rajasthan, and I think Chennai. Even though they haven't like they
Good
have
lead.
same they have got the same uh, 8 players. So I think if for this year, at least for this year, they have got it with Devon Conway as their ninth guy, and and sorry, who is that guy? Adam Milne is again a good buy. So I'm going with CSK, Lucknow, Punjab, and RR, and TC comes close for me because of their batting, explosive batting lineup. Yeah, Shikhar.
Yeah, I would go for the same thing. Punjab, Punjab, then Lucknow, then DC, and then there will be CSK. Strong batting lineup.
Interesting.
And I
Yeah.
can definitely tell you that GT and KKR are close to each other. I won't say that where they will end, but they're close. They
Interesting.
will be in
Interesting.
close competition.
For
Yeah,
ninth and
but
10th.
we never know. KKR will pick up that one guy named Ramesh Kumar who will bat at six and start smashing sixes because Shikhar Sarang has suggested his name, and then suddenly they reach the final, just like Venkatesh Iyer helped them
Uh,
do that in
I,
the last
I
season.
would just like to bring you the point
Yeah,
that same thing was said for KKR back in 2018 and they finished fourth.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with you. They had only an 18-member squad. They had picked three under 19 guys, and again we kind
Out
of
of which two didn't play, right? Kamlesh Nagarwala didn't
Yes.
play
yeah.
at all.
Another
Bobby
Shivam
also.
Shivam
Shivam
Mahavi
Mavi.
Mavi
returned
was in and out of
halfway.
the team. Yeah, in and out of
Both
the
were
team.
getting
And Gill
injured.
was batting at seven. To be honest, Gill was
Yes.
batting at seven
And
in that
Stark backed out.
Stark backed out. Yeah,
Yes.
and they brought in Mitchell Johnson. I remember. Yeah, and
Yes.
one more
They
trivia.
brought in Tom Curran for that. Johnson was in the original squad.
Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, and Tom Curran, yeah, highest economy rate, right? In the
Yeah.
IPL. Another trivia if you want, KKR had bought Enric Norke in 2019 and he didn't come. And he didn't come, so they released him. 2020, he wasn't picked in the auction, came in as a replacement for Chris Wokes,
Chris
and now
Woke.
he's retained in 2022. Quickly, question coming in: any thoughts on India versus West Indies T20s? I think it would be a great series because West Indies is good in T20 internationals. They have
3-0
Pollard,
India.
Smith. 3-0 India, says Advait Lachke. And Ninad would agree with that because Rohit Sharma is the skipper, isn't it?
I would say 2-1
2-1 to India.
uh, to India though. Yeah. But yeah,
Shikhar.
you West Indies are
I am not sure. Sorry, I'm not sure on
unpredictable.
any. Sorry. Once again.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
sure about anything. I think India will
No.
win either 2-1 or 3-0. I'm going with
I,
2-1.
I I'm not sure because our pace bowling is not that great, and we are playing on Eden Gardens,
Hmm.
who and their pace bowling is like on top, I guess, for of their
But we
form,
have
not on.
but we have Rohit Sharma at Eden Gardens.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
That's why I'm winning
We are
3-0.
winning this. I just
That's
forgot
the
that we
only
are having
reason.
Rohit
And
Sharma at Eden Gardens.
and Ishan Kishan is opening.
Hmm.
I heard that
Boys, what's up?
Ems will open with Ruturaj in Who is Ems?
Is that a Moeen
MS
Ali?
event, I guess.
Oh, MS.
अच्छा, MS,
MS.
MS. I mean, no. I mean, MS might not bat as well if you
Yes, I
know.
guess he might come at after Deepak Char at number 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is his fan who's ऊपर काहे नहीं भेज रहे तुम्हें?
अच्छा, वैसा वाला. But no, I think Conway will open and MS will wait till Jadeja smashes three sixes. And I mean, they have a lot of batting depth. So MS doesn't really need to bat. His keeping and captaincy is enough to keep him in the team. Windies are sure to give a tough fight in the T20 format. Yes, I agree with you. Darshil is watching with us, MSD. Darshil, if you have any thoughts quickly. Let's just now end this stream, 1 hour, 48 minutes marathon stream on Cricket Adda, but we enjoyed it. We have done a thorough discussion on all the teams. Number 9 is likely for MST. Okay, but 7 is his number behind the back.
Yes.
So, but he might bat at 7 or 8 because Jadeja will be ahead of him and Raidu, Uttappa, everybody should be ahead of him. And even Bravo, if Dhoni thinks that Bravo can hit better than Dhoni, then otherwise Dhoni showed in the last game that even he can do it 18 or 6 balls. So yes, that's it for the day. Thank you very much, Shikhar, Ninad, and Advait for being here with us for 1 hour 50 minutes, and all the viewers who watched it. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are very close to 500 subscribers. Yes, you are very right, Anurag Rai. Very right. Just 3 or 4 more we need to get to 500. So let's do it. Hope GT proves everyone wrong. Even Shikhar is
Yes,
hoping that. But with
everyone
Ashish
is
Nehra,
waiting. Yes.
but with Ashish Nehra, you are hoping against hope. I don't know. Ashish Nehra wasn't a good coach at RCB, is what I heard. That's it. Thank you very much. Time.
Sir, चले गए.
Okay, I guess he's out
That's it.
due to some technical issues. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back soon.